Welcome to humanity's greatest transformation, the journey from wandering hunters to the builders of cities, the inventors of writing, the creators of civilization itself. Over 10,000 years, our ancestors accomplished what no species had ever done. They reshaped the world, built permanent settlements, developed agriculture, created complex societies, and laid the foundations for everything that would follow. Today, using advanced AI technology and the latest archaeological discoveries, we're reconstructing this revolutionary era. We'll witness the first farmers planting crops, walk through humanity's earliest cities, see the invention of writing, and understand how these changes transformed human existence. This is the story of how civilization began, not in one place or one moment, but gradually, across multiple regions as humans made choices that would echo through all of history. The world of the hunter-gatherers. It's 12,000 BC and the last ice age is ending. The great glaciers are retreating, new landscapes emerging, grasslands, forests, river valleys. Small bands of humans move through this changing world, following herds, gathering wild plants, living as their ancestors had for hundreds of thousands of years. Meet a family group in the Fertile Crescent, the region stretching from the Mediterranean through modern Iraq. There are perhaps 25 people in this band, several families traveling together. They're camped in a rock shelter overlooking a river valley, a place they return to each spring. Watch their daily life. Men prepare for a hunting expedition, checking stone-tipped spears, discussing strategy. Wild gazelles migrate through the valley, and a successful hunt will feed the band for days. Women and children gather plant foods. They know hundreds of species, which roots are edible, which berries are ripe, where to find wild grains. Back at camp, people work on equipment. A man knaps flint, striking flakes to create cutting tools. A woman weaves baskets from reeds. Children play, but even their play teaches survival skills. Life is hard, but not desperate. These people work perhaps 4 hours a day obtaining food. The rest is leisure, socializing, storytelling, creating art. They're deeply connected to their landscape, knowing every water source, every seasonal resource. But something is changing. The warming climate makes wild grain more abundant. Women gathering seeds notice that scattered seeds grow into plants the next year. Some families begin returning to the same camps season after season. Without realizing it, they're on the threshold of a revolution. The first farmers. It's 9000 BC in the Fertile Crescent, and some human groups have made a radical choice. They're staying in one place year-round, deliberately planting and harvesting crops. Watch these pioneering agriculturalists at work. It's planting season. Men use digging sticks to break the soil, creating furrows. Women follow behind, dropping seeds carefully. Wheat and barley, descended from wild grasses. The seeds are larger than wild varieties, the stalks stronger. Without understanding genetics, these farmers are conducting the world's first selective breeding program. The work is harder than gathering wild foods. Breaking soil, planting, weeding, guarding fields, harvesting, processing grain. It requires more labor. So why do it? Because farming is predictable. A good harvest means food security, and farming can feed more people from the same land. But farming brings changes beyond food production. The settlement is permanent. Round houses built of mud brick. The first architecture meant to last. People accumulate possessions now that they don't have to carry everything. Clay pots for storing grain, grinding stones for making flour. Social organization changes too. Someone must coordinate planting times, allocate land, manage stored grain. Leaders emerge. Specialists appear. Some people are better potters, others better at making tools. Society is becoming more complex. And something else is happening. A few families keep young wild goats and sheep near the settlement, controlling their breeding. Within a few generations, these animals are becoming tamer, more dependent on humans. Domestication is beginning. The Neolithic Revolution is underway. Today, archaeological sites across the Fertile Crescent reveal this transformation. At Çatalhöyük in Turkey, excavations show a settlement of up to 8,000 people by 7000 BC. Densely packed mud brick houses, elaborate wall paintings, evidence of trade networks bringing obsidian from hundreds of miles away. The first cities, 3500 BC. It's 3,500 BC in Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and something unprecedented is emerging. True cities. Settlements of thousands of people with complex organization and monumental architecture. This is Uruk, one of history's first cities. Perhaps 40,000 people live here, an unimaginable concentration. The city sprawls across nearly 1,000 acres, surrounded by massive walls. At its center rises the White Temple, a limestone structure on an artificial platform dedicated to the sky god Anu. Walk through Uruk streets and witness urban life being invented. The streets are narrow, unpaved, crowded. Houses are built of mud brick, sharing walls, creating dense urban fabric. The smell is intense. Cooking fires, animal pens, garbage, all concentrated in a small area. But there's also organization. The temple complex dominates the city. Priests manage vast estates, directing agricultural production. Thousands of workers labor in temple workshops. Potters creating storage jars, weavers making textiles, metalworkers crafting copper tools. Watch a potter at his wheel, a recent invention that revolutionizes pottery production. He shapes a clay vessel with practiced movements, his foot pumping the wheel. In an hour, he can produce what would have taken a day by hand. Mass production is beginning. In the temple courtyard, scribes press reed styluses into clay tablets. They're recording transactions. Barley received, distributed as rations, stored for next year. These marks are proto-writing, pictographs that will evolve into cuneiform script. Writing is being invented to manage the complex economy of urban civilization. Social hierarchy is visible everywhere. Priests and administrators live in large houses. Craftsmen live modestly but comfortably. Laborers crowd into small houses, sometimes multiple families sharing. Slaves, prisoners of war, or people sold for debt own nothing, living on rations. Today, the ruins of Uruk still exist in Iraq. Excavations have revealed the temple platforms, the city walls, and thousands of clay tablets documenting the economic life of humanity's first urban civilization. The invention of writing, 3200 BC. It's 3200 BC, and in the Sumerian cities, the system of pictographic marks is evolving into something revolutionary. True writing, capable of recording language itself. Watch a scribe in the temple at Uruk. His name is Kushim. He may be the first human whose name we know. He sits on a clay bench, a pile of fresh clay tablets beside him, cut reeds for styluses. Kushim is recording a contract, a merchant borrowing silver from the temple. The scribe writes in cuneiform, pressing the triangular tip of his reed into soft clay. The symbols are becoming more abstract, combinations of wedge-shaped marks representing sounds and concepts. This is revolutionary. Writing allows information to be stored outside human memory. It permits complex calculation, administration of large populations, law codes. It allows stories, prayers, and knowledge to be preserved across generations. Writing changes everything. The scribe's education took years. As a child, he attended the Eduba, the tablet house, the world's first school. He spent years copying practice texts, memorizing thousands of symbols. Now he's part of an elite group. Literacy is rare, restricted to specialists. Within a few centuries, writing will spread beyond business records. Scribes will record myths, laws, royal decrees, literature. The Epic of Gilgamesh will be written down. King Hammurabi will have his law code carved in stone. Today, hundreds of thousands of cuneiform tablets survive in museums worldwide. They record everything from palace inventories to love poems, from astronomical observations to medical texts. They give us direct access to the thoughts of people 5,000 years ago. The Bronze Age begins. It's 2300 BC, and metalworking technology has advanced. Bronze, an alloy of copper and tin, is being produced systematically. This harder, more durable metal is transforming tools, weapons, and trade networks. In a workshop in a metal worker tends a clay furnace, pumping bellows to raise the temperature high enough to melt copper. He adds carefully measured tin, creating bronze. The molten metal is poured into clay molds, creating axe heads, spear points, chisels. Bronze tools are superior to stone, sharper, more durable, capable of being resharpened. But bronze also creates inequality. The tin needed comes from distant sources, Afghanistan perhaps, or Anatolia. Long-distance trade networks develop. Those who control these networks grow wealthy and powerful. Warfare changes too. Bronze weapons give advantages to those who can afford them. Professional warriors emerge, supported by agricultural surplus. Kings command armies equipped with bronze weapons, using them to expand territories. By 2300 BC, powerful kingdoms have emerged. In Mesopotamia, Sargon of Akkad has conquered the Sumerian cities, creating history's first empire. In Egypt, the pyramids already stand. In the Indus Valley, cities like Harappa flourish with sophisticated urban planning. Conclusion: our journey through 10,000 years has witnessed humanity's greatest transformation. From small bands of hunter-gatherers, we became farmers, villagers, city dwellers, citizens of kingdoms and empires. We invented agriculture, architecture, pottery, metallurgy, writing, law, and organized religion. This transformation came with costs. Farmers worked harder than foragers. Cities brought disease, inequality, and conflict. But these changes also brought stability, accumulation of knowledge, technological advancement, and achievements beyond mere survival. By 2300 BC, the foundations of civilization were laid. The next 4,000 years would build on these foundations. Great empires would rise and fall. Technologies would advance. Philosophies and religions would emerge. But the basic pattern was set. The sites where this happened still exist. Göbekli Tepe, Çatalhöyük, Uruk, Ur. You can visit them, touch stones placed by our earliest civilized ancestors, and marvel at what they achieved with limited tools but unlimited human ingenuity. If you enjoyed this journey through civilization's birth, comment below what era you'd like to explore next. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the past.